Am I the only one that just fiends to wear New Balance? It's been snowing and I've just been wanting to wear some New Balance. Haven't been able to rock these outside yet, so I'm gonna throw them on here just as some house slippers. All right, so you guys know what time it is. We gotta get into the top 10 sneakers of 2021. I think I've done 8 of these videos now, so that's how long I've been on YouTube. And I just wanna say thank you to you guys, everyone that has been subscribed since the beginning, people that have hopped on board midway through, and if you're new to this channel, thank you. Okay, but getting into this list, these are 10 pairs of sneakers that I own. They're not just shoes I saw online and thought that they would be cool in a top 10 list. These are shoes that I have in my collection currently. At number 10, Undefeated and Nike did a lot of work this year. This particular pair stood out to me. I don't think it stood out to everyone else though. You could buy these right now for under retail. So when you can get essentially a hyped up shoe for retail or under, I'm all for it. So we've got the Nike Air Force 1 5 on it. I couldn't tell you why people weren't into this shoe. You've got this blue crocodile leather, this canvas on the toe box, white patent leather on the lateral, the mid panels are 2 different colors on here. The outsole is aged. You've got Undefeated branding throughout. Like, come on. What don't you like about these? I don't understand it. If you want a pair of these, you can still get them for that price. So I'll link them for you down in the description. I'm the only one I've seen with this shoe on the list so far, so it is what it is. Okay, next up is something that I bought in store, and I think that gets lost with a lot of people. The buyer experience for most of us is online nowadays, but if you can go into a store and buy something that you really like and it's a good experience, that adds to the shoe in my opinion. And we've got a pair of New Balance. Here's the deal. I was in New York City. My girlfriend ran the New York City Marathon, so props to her. It was an amazing day. I was able to sneak in a little bit of shopping. I was pleasantly surprised to find the Kith exclusive New Balance 990 V2. My gosh, are these beautiful. Now, they jumped off the rack at me. I was like, pfft. The nickname for them is Storm Blue. I've seen some people call them Stone Blue, but we're gonna stick with the Storm. This is not a collaboration with Kith, just an exclusive. Concepts does the same thing every once in a while where they have these exclusive colorways. There's no Kith branding on here, but you can't get these anywhere else. I've been really into different shades of blue and green this year. I know people throw the term clean out there a lot, but this truly is the definition of clean. Okay, and then next up is a shoe that a lot of people probably have a little bit higher on their list. We've got one of the collaborations between Jordan brand and Aime Maniere. It seems like there was actually some mixed reviews on this shoe where some people were kind of thrown off by the material. I just got these recently and I had my top 10 list all squared away, and then I opened them up and I was like, oh man, I gotta put them on the list. They did not cut any corners and they paid attention to detail probably more than any shoe on this list. Maybe there's an exception at the end. So shout out to Aime Maniere, keep going. Okay, next up we have something from Nike and Patta. As you know, they've been dropping a bunch of collaborative Air Max 1s, and this particular colorway was my favorite. This is the Noise Aqua pair. There's been, what, 5 different colorways now that have dropped. This is the second version. The first was similar to a dark curry pair of Air Max 1s that I already have, so I didn't really go that route. This colorway though, it just totally drew me in. I was not able to get them. I missed on their website, then I missed on the sneakers app, and I was like, all right, that's it. I'm not getting a pair. I actually paid resale for these, and I know that's something that I rarely say. It was a great price, and at that point, I love AM1s, but Nike has really brought them through the ringer. Now, if these were $500, if they were $400, would I have bought them? No, I wouldn't have. Similar to the New Balance 990s, these are another summer and spring vibe. You knew it was gonna be on this list, something that Jordan brand did an amazing job with. They're cool gray 11s, stunning. You know, I'm not the biggest 11s guy. They're not my grail. They're not in my top 3 Jordan models, but this cool gray colorway right here on this shoe, it does something for me. And I gotta say, they did a perfect job. Quality-wise, execution-wise, Everything was on point. You see cool gray on a lot of different Jordans, but this is the one. In my opinion, it is the most wearable Jordan 11 out there. Sometimes I throw on Concords and I'm like, you know what, these are a little bit much. At number 6, cool gray 11s. Let's get into the top 5. Okay, so Jordan Brand still has their foot on the gas when it comes to Jordan 1 releases. This particular pair stood out to me above everything else. We've got the University Blues. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a pair when they initially released, but later on down the line, I did some work with Grailed and was able to secure a pair that way. So I got very lucky. I knew that this was definitely in my top 5 as soon as I got it, as soon as I saw the pictures leaked that it was gonna release. I was like, that's a top 5 shoe, no questions about it. But I feel like a lot of people have left this off the list for some reason, and I don't know why. I got to do a top 10 Jordans of 2021 as well because there were so many different releases. GR Jordans were on point this year. You know the box. You know what it is. At number 4, we had to have some 4s. I think over the past couple of years, I've had a Jordan 4 at number 4, just coincidentally. It felt like I saw images of this shoe a year in advance, which I probably did. That's kind of how it works nowadays. And then I was just waiting and waiting and waiting. Like, I even looked to see if I should buy them ahead of the drop. That's how badly I wanted them. And I rarely get that itch. I looked and they were like 500 bucks and I was like, see ya. I'm glad I waited it out, but here we go with the Jordan 4 Lightnings. This particular shoe separates people a little bit in my opinion. It separates the people that can style, that can dress well versus the people that are like, I don't know what to do with a yellow sneaker. I love the challenge of this shoe. Can you pull off an all yellow sneaker? Or do you go into Foot Locker, get a yellow hoodie and a yellow hat and just look like a foul pole? What really gets me though is when I had first got into Jordans, these had already released. I wasn't familiar with how Jordans were releasing. This was just one of those things where I was like, I'll never own that shoe. But thankfully they retroed. Thankfully they did a good job. Maybe some people won't have these on their list because the hype has died down a tad. Not me. Okay. Top 3, these are the ones that really stood out. These are the big dogs. And similar to the Lightning 4s, this particular shoe is something that I never thought I would get. The Air Max 90 Bacon is just something that grabs me. This color combination, these materials, the story behind it, it checks all the boxes for me. Listen, 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 listen. I still feel like people aren't giving this shoe its props. When I first heard rumors of this shoe returning, I was like, okay, it's not gonna be something I'm able to get. It's gonna be super limited, maybe like a Complex Con exclusive or something stupid. Meanwhile, I've been stacking Air Max 90s. The regular OG versions, the Volts, the lime greens, the laser blues, the infrareds, I've got them all. Nike's execution of those Air Max 90s that they retroed has been perfect. And I was almost sad before this release because I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna be able to get a pair, but I know that the shape and the materials are gonna be on point like those other ones. But long story, less long, I was able to get a pair. The colorway is inspired by Bacon, and I love it when you see unique colorways on Nikes. You've got pink and red mixed with tan and brown. Like what? Talk about a shoe that is never leaving my collection. Beautiful right here, and it made the top 3. Okay, and at number 2, you knew it was gonna be on here. I think I said it was gonna be number 1 at some point this year, and it was close. It was neck and neck with the shoe that actually is. You know this box, you know this slide out that I'm not a fan of. So, we've got the Air Jordan 3 and Aime Maniere collaboration raised by women. A lot of people have this shoe at number 1, and instead of reiterate the same points that they have, I'm gonna touch on 2 different things. 1, impact. 2, how wearable it is. You could give this shoe to somebody that's not a sneakerhead and not really into collecting, and they would appreciate them and probably wear them. There's certain shoes, like if I gave someone a pair of Lightning 4s that didn't know what they were and weren't into sneakers, they'd be like, they'd almost laugh. They'd be like, what am I gonna do with these? But something like this that is so neutral, you can't tell if it's 10 years old or made last year. When I first saw these, I'm like, okay, prepare for the L. Act like you didn't even see them. And then out of the blue, they have this extremely fair release on their website, and that is the impact right there. When people that really liked this shoe and were able to get it and wear it and bought it for retail easily by no bots being involved, that is impact, and your buyers are not gonna forget that. So Maniere did a great job with this release. People are excited to have this shoe, and rightfully so. It's number 2 on this list. Okay, and at number 1, I am so excited to say that they are a pair of New Balance. What a year for New Balance. I can't wait to see what they do in 2022. And it was hard to make this decision, but after I went to New York City, I knew what had to be done. I knew what had to be done. Again, we're gonna talk about impact and how wearable it is. But at number 1, we've got the Aime Dore and New Balance collaboration on the 550. Before I go in any further with this shoe, let me know down in the comment section what your favorite sneaker of the year was. If you can't decide on one, give me your top 5. Some people probably don't even have these on their list, but I know what I'm about to say is a little bit much, but trust me, it's true. This sneaker has changed the game, and this isn't even the first colorway to drop, but this one really brought it home. We know New Balance for retro runners. We don't know them for retro basketball sneakers, and when this popped up, I was like, okay, that's the one. That shoe is gonna be a problem. When I went to New York City, everywhere I looked, I saw this shoe or a version of it. The impact of this sneaker, incredible. The way that it released, it went to mostly Aime fans. If you've bought an Aime Dore and New Balance collab previously, you likely got an email for a chance to get this shoe. Again, easy, on point, no bots, and it goes to the right people. When you have a release like that, the impact is incredible. This exact shoe has crossover appeal. I've seen different people wearing it that are hardly into sneakers, and I love to see something like that. But me in particular, retro basketball is where it's at. New Balance is one of my favorite brands, and these are extremely wearable. There's probably been 100 different Jordan 3s. Something like this is new and refreshing, and for all those reasons, these are the number 1 sneaker release of the year for me. I truly hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit that thumbs up if you did. Again, thank you for messing with me. I appreciate all the support. A lot more content is on the way, so subscribe if you're new around here. I'll catch you next time. Peace.